Before this video starts, here is an animation of a wind pump that is designed to thicken the Arctic ice. If you want more information on this project, visit the Thickening Arctic Ice YouTube channel. The link to it will be in the description. Hello everyone, and welcome to Teamsport Eastleigh Part 2. Anyway, this of course is part 2 of the karting trip that took place a while ago for my cousin's birthday. And my cousin is actually in this race at the moment. She's fencing sausage. That's what she'll be known as in this race. That's not her real name, of course, but we'll call her that in this race. And of course, the aim is not necessarily to be the first person across the line, but indeed to set the fastest lap. So you can already see some squabbling going on. I've got past both Daddy Sausage and Eagle Blade, and Kaya's had a half spin in the middle of the pack. Which is a shame for Kaya, but did you see me going right up the inside of both other adult karts in the race there? As Eagle Blade does a very quick switch back on the birthday girl there, fencing sausage. So, of course, there are two different classes of kart in this race. You see the white ones that are just round in the corner now. They're the quicker ones. They're the adult karts, and they're the three males in the race. You've got me, Eagle Blade 22, or Eagle Racer 22, I should say, as Kaya has another half spin, and Daddy Sausage. And then we have 5 cadet karts, all females, and the actual kart is quite a lot slower. So the cadet karts have to look out for the adult karts coming past them, and the adult karts have to look out for the cadet karts which they are passing, and for both parties that's very hard. But I don't think we see too many incidents in this karting trip of that particular type. As you see, Jess going right around the outside of Polar Cub 28. So Jess on a charge here. Polar Cub taking it a bit cautiously at first, I suppose. This is only her second karting trip, so you can't really blame her. There you see a good example of adult karts clearing cadet karts traffic, or at least you don't see a very good advantage because there's some poles in the way. But I promise you, the cameraman does find a better viewpoint later on in the video. So yeah, this might not have been a good one, but he does realise that later on. Anyway, here you see Eagle Blade trying to get past Evelyn, and I believe, yeah, he has got past her on the switchback, so that's one kart cleared. Of course, as I've said, this isn't a proper race, so it's not first across the finish line, and therefore pulling these overtakes isn't essential, but it's very good for track position. Of course, it's always good to have clean air in front of you and everyone else behind you, so that you don't run into cadet karts or in the cadet kart's case, a quicker kart passing you on a clean lap. Anyway, oh dear! And that is a big one for Kaya there. In fact, I think she fell out of the seat. She did indeed. So Kaya seems to have survived that incident in some manner, but came right out of the seat. So there you see a replay. In fact, I think Eagle Blade did get past Daddy Sausage there down into the hairpin. Oh dear, indeed. Kaya did come out of the seat. By the hairpin, of course. I didn't mean the hairpin, I meant turn 1. And here you see it in slow motion. Watch this. Very lucky to avoid Jess, who was going past there on the outside. And that is a big one. In fact, she has come right out of the seat. That is just the amount of force that went through the kart. It takes a lot to launch a driver right out of the seat and onto the side of the kart. She's pulled herself back in again. But indeed, she was bounced right out of the seat. And that is a big, big accident for Kaya. In fact, very brave of her to be pushed back and carry on. And in fact, I don't think she actually lost much time after that. In fact, if any. So it's good that she's managed to continue in the race. Anyway, the yellow flags have gone out now. And Daddy Sausage has already set about trying to get past Eagle Blade there. Of course, there is bragging rights involved in pulling overtakes. And indeed, I think that Daddy Sausage... Yeah, he has indeed. So Daddy Sausage indeed did get ahead of Eagle Blade there while they were trying to clear the traffic. Of course, this is Eagle Blade's very first session in an adult kart, and he's attempting to pass someone at least 4 times his age there, Daddy Sausage. And in fact, he's going to go around the outside of him. Did that work? I don't know, because we've had another accident at Brundle. And, no, Dunlop, I mean. And that is Evelyn there, who has gone under the barrier. If you look at the front left wheel, you can see how the barrier kind of arches up. Jess there, or is it Evelyn? No, Evelyn there has gone right under the barrier. Like, let's see a replay. Oh, way too fast at way too weird of an angle. And that was never going to work. And indeed, when she's pushed out, I believe we're going to see the barrier slump. Yeah, there it goes. So the barrier slumped down. And that means that the front left wheel must have been propping up the barrier. And that means that we've had 2 very dangerous accidents in the space of about 2 minutes at Dunlop. As you see, actually, Evelyn overtook quite a few people under yellow flag there. Let's see an action replay of that. So, yeah, indeed, she does. Yeah, so the yellows haven't gone out yet, and she's already passed 2 adult carts, giving one of them a clonk on the way past, I believe. And now the camera has decided that an unused cart is more important than the ones actually on the track. Now we're looking at the floor. Well, don't ask me what the cameraman was doing there, but whatever. We've got me going around the outside of Polar Cub. That's not going to help my lap. So, obviously, you do need to wait for a clean lap to actually set a quick one. But it's not going to be now, because I've just seen the checkered flag. Now, don't panic. I know that we still got a long way to go in the video and one other part. But the checkered flag has only come out because this session is split into 2 parts. So we've ended the first part of the session now, and the second part will be actually starting later on in the video. So this video isn't over yet, and here you see me returning to the pits first. And indeed, I was fastest in that session, so I am winning so far. But it isn't the times from the first session that actually count towards the finished result. It's the times from the second session. So that was basically just a practice session there. And you see the number 9 car of Evelyn holding up her hand as she comes into the pits. So obviously very, very pleased with that one. And in fact, Evelyn was the quickest cadet car, I know that. In fact, unfortunately, the cadet car order was completely lost. So I don't know the cadet car order. I know that Evelyn was first, and Polar Bear was last, but I can't remember. But we can't actually find the sheet with the results on it for round 1, so we have no idea of what anyone's times were or what position the cadet carts finished in. I know what position the adult carts finished in. In fact, you're about to see the order there. So it's me, then Eagle Blade, then Daddy Sausage. But unfortunately, the cadet standings were completely lost. As I said, I know that Evelyn was at the top and Polar Bear was Polar Cub was at the bottom, but in the middle, the 3 carts that I haven't mentioned, I am unaware of the order of, so that is a shame. Anyway, so there you see us gearing up for the next session. That's me just trying to put my helmet on. Obviously, I thought that one wasn't going to fit me right, so I've gone for a different sized helmet, and indeed that one seems to fit well. Now, I had a bit of a dilemma with helmets, because I normally wear a medium size, and then after, I turned up at the kart track, and I realised that a medium wasn't going to fit me this time. It had grown too small, but the large was still too large. So as I went up and down the elevation changes, the helmet was slipping around and going over my eyes, and that's quite dangerous. So I did try and put on the medium again before the next round, and unfortunately that wasn't doable, so I did have to stick with the large, which is unfortunate. As we do see a red flag, which is very weird, because actually I can't see any reason why the red flag would be out there. There hasn't been an accident. Oh, we're seeing an action replay or something. Oh, I think this is down at Hunt. Yeah, indeed. So Jess... Oh, okay. Well, that was just Jess getting a bit sideways, and Eagle Blade, or Eagle Racer, misjudging the speed difference and clouting her from the side, but nothing dramatic. The red flag, I believe, was an accident. So I believe what the marshal did was accidentally click the red light for, the red light button by accident. I don't know why he did that, but I believe that's what happened. Talking of elevation changes, which I mentioned just now, I actually really didn't like them. Like, they were so bumpy. As you went up the elevation change, the first elevation change, so as you went up to get onto Graham Hill, Jess clacks the wall very hard there. So as you went onto Graham Hill, and Eagle Blaze now made contact with Kaya. Okay, as you go onto Graham's Hill, it's so bumpy on the steering column. It just shakes around like mad, and as you're going down, it really is bumpy. And like I didn't like it. And in fact, you can see that now there is another kart on the track, and that is a Marshall, the adult kart lapping with a blue helmet, who's just about to dive back into the pits. Basically, as we see a replay of something. Oh, this will be the contact between Eagle Blade and Kaya down at the hairpin. There, indeed, it was. So there you see the Marshall diving back into the pits. Basically, why he was on the track was because before this session, I was put into a kart, a different kart from the one I'm driving. I started up. Well, I started it up. I put my foot on the accelerator, and then the throttle stuck, and I couldn't stop the kart. And well, actually, I could stop the kart because, of course, there was another kart in front of me in the pits, so I just made contact with them. But yeah, basically, I got out of that kart because it had a stuck throttle, and obviously the Marshal thinks he's fixed it now, and he was just testing that. And I don't know what the results were, but I hope they were good because I know that these karts will cost quite a lot. Anyway, back to the action. You can see that we're all quite spread out at the moment, except that's not for long because of the speed difference between the adult and the cadet kart. And in fact, Jess has had a bit of a half spin going down into Hunt, and both me and Eagle Blade have got past her there. Although that's not too dramatic because, of course, Jess isn't racing us. The adult karts are just too quick for the cadets to race with because of the amazing speed difference of the karts. And now Daddy's Sausage has been swamped by both me and Eagle Blade going down into turn 1 there, which was Brundle, and he just got held up behind Kaya there, and both me and Eagle Blade were able to benefit from that. And now we've had a crash at Hunt. Polar Bear 28, I believe that is, has gone straight on at Hunt. The yellows have come out. Let's see a replay. So look at the hairpin. Oh dear, and indeed that is too much speed into such a tight corner. I don't think she actually tried to brake at all there. I think she left the braking far too late, or maybe just forgot to do it full stop. And Polar Bear having a bit of an accident down at Hunt. So anyway, that'll be the end of part 2 of this video. So far, by the results of round 1, we can see that I'm leading. But let's see if that'll stay that way. See you next time.